we're here now in the cutscene. We got to this point where Woody spoke, so we've done all the dialogue for this bit, all been put in. So this is where we're at. So we've only got this bit to do, these last dialogue boxes, and then we can begin the exciting part, the actual hijacking of the cart. And it's going to be a challenge, I'm sure. It's probably going to be the most adventurous cutscene I've ever done so far. So we'll see how that goes, but I think we should do a test play and see how it's all looking so far. So here we are, and we spent most of yesterday's stream doing troubleshooting. We were fixing that bug that's been bugging us for a long time, or bugging me for a long time anyway, more like. And I'm very happy now because we can now place the event, and the dialogue box automatically appears above their head now. We don't have to put in the coordinates ourselves, and it's not because I'm lazy or anything, or I don't like doing that. It's just, you know, in the long run, it's gonna save me a lot of time. It's gonna stop me getting frustrated and stressed, and it just lets us focus on other parts and making the cutscenes in general looking even more awesome, because we'll just get more time to work on that rather than plotting the pixel coordinates all the time. So it's really cool. But with Oliver, we did come across a little problem, because he's a little small sprite. He's half the size of the others because he's a baby, and obviously there was a gap with the dialogue box above his head, as we saw in the test play yesterday, and I couldn't find a solution for that, unfortunately. I did spend quite a bit of time looking into that, but I even tried to write some code myself to see if we could put a kind of offset or minus a few minus, like minus 15 on his dialogue box. But it did work when I messed with the JavaScript, but unfortunately it did it for all the characters. And I even used if statements to try and say, oh, only if it's that Oliver's event, then it should do it. But it still didn't work, and it was just too time consuming. So in the end, I decided to just, we will manually put in Oliver's X and Y coordinates, as we've got here. He's the only character we're going to do that thought for. All the others will do it the new, quicker, more efficient way. But it's not like Oliver's gonna stress us out too much only doing it for Oliver. It would over time if we had to do it for every single character in every single dialogue scene. That would, but this is just Oliver, so it's not too bad at all. It reminds me of the folks from my hometown. Oh really? What's your hometown again? You might have told me, but I need to remember. Not really know, are you, after stream? I'm just doing boring stuff all week, May, which is doing the website, which isn't boring for me. I like doing that. All I ever do is sit at my computer, in all honesty. Okay, so this is what we've done. We've added quite a few little movements. I think that breaks the cutscene up as well, rather than just have dialogue running without any gaps. I think one thing that we could improve about this sequence is have a bit more movement with the barrels to break up the dialogue. And what we've got so far is pretty cool, but I want to do it even more. But I'm thinking next week, once the website has been launched, it'll all be about making the cutscene as best as it can be. Today, and we'll probably just be messing around with how we can get the hijacking scene working and have a little test about with things, but the actual making it look pretty and awesome is gonna probably be done next week. And all going well, we might get this cutscene finished next week, and then we can get cracking on other areas of the game. Texas. Grew up in small farming town of... Oh, really? Yes, you are the one from Texas, aren't you? All I need now is a cowgirl hat, and then my look will be complete. Hope you have fun and stay safe and warm for the rest of the week. As usual, talk Sunday afternoon your time. Yay! Take care, Rod, and thank you again for your time and for stopping by and spending your precious time on my stream. I appreciate it. Okay, so right, and what dialogue boxes do we have to do? All we have now is Elvira, little bit of Oliver dialogue, and Hank. And Hank hasn't shown his face yet. He's the only barrel so far that hasn't showed his face. All the others have. They've all opened their eyes by this point. And it's gonna this is gonna be quite important just to get him, because it's gonna position all the characters before the hijacking begins. And we're actually gonna have to be the way we plan their positions is very important, because certain things are going to occur in the hijacking scene. Certain characters are going to get hurt, and there's going to be a little sequence of events that unfolds. And all we know is that Carol needs to be in line with Hank, and Hank needs to be with Oliver. So we have to plan a few things, and we'll talk more about that later. But first, we'll get the dialogue in. But you can have a closer look, folks, at the dialogue scene. You can see our notes for the hijacking and the red boxes as well. If you do want to know more, then feel free to have a peek. Okay, so and yes, we still have to do this curtain bid, still not matching with the car outside, but I've decided we will save anything graphic wise, like with the cart or the mapping outside. We'll save that till the end. If we can get the actual cutscene working first, then that'll be a really useful job done, and then we can focus on the actual visual side of the scene. So let's do that first. Hi, I made it. Hi Van, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. Hope work's going well today. Okay, so Elvira now has a little say. She has a go at Woody. I love how this scene is just a series of arguments between the characters. First it's Carol telling off Meryl, then it's Meryl telling off Elvira, and then it's Elvira telling off Woody. It's like all of them are having a go at each other one by one. I noticed that when I was watching the test, but I was like, it's funny because they're all having a go at each other. Okay, so this time we're at the point where Elvira has a go at Woody, so she's gonna 1, 2, 3. So what I've kind of done is when they're arguing with one of the companions, they walk up to them and jump and to show their frustration and face them, because I think having them move rather than stand rooted to the spot just gives a bit more life to the scene and the characters, of course. So that's what happened with Carol. Carol moved to Meryl when she was angry at Meryl, and we had we've got a wood sound as well when she jumps, which works quite well. I'm just using footstep wood, which is the same sound effect we use for when we walk across wood in general in the game. But we need to do Meryl's side view and back view as well as all the others as well. So it's mainly Meryl and Elvira, and I'm not so sure about Hank because he might just walk in a straight line. But there's definitely going to be some assets that will need to be done. But maybe today, but not necessarily. It all depends where the cutscene takes us today and what we feel is important to focus on. I feel like I've got a runny nose. Go away. Working like you do video effects today. All sounds fun. Doing video stuff is fun. Hope it goes well. I know it will. Okay, so Elvira is event 4. So I'm going to just copy the one we use for Carol and just edit it. So event 4 Elvira. Right, move up. And then it was left. And I think we're having weights in between. I'm not sure. We might need to put some more footstep sounds though, because I haven't filled them in at all places, only at the jump. So up and left, which I think is correct. But we haven't done Alvira's assets yet, so yeah, we won't get the look we want. So I might actually not do the movement for Alvira just yet and wait until we've done the assets first, otherwise we'll have an invisible asset. So we'll just get Alvira's dialogue in first. We'll keep it basic for now. And I did add in some music last night. I was listening to our soundtrack and thinking what would be a good one to have in this scene. And we've got it now, and I think it works quite well actually. I've been doing a lot of planning in a Google Doc about the music and kind of splitting things up by like tempo and mood and location, whether it be a dungeon theme or a town theme or a character theme or a scene theme, and that is like extremely fun to do. I like doing that sort of thing, so we're well prepared for that sort of stuff. I'm making sure, so it's probably one of my favourite things to do. Okay, here we go. We could have the Mai on there, but something about it looks weird. I might leave it like that. And she, probably that face. Unamused Elvira face. And now Oliver pipes in. Okay, so now we've only got 2 more dialogue boxes now until we can skip to the hijacking scene. We've got to get some positioning in place. So at this point, Hank shows his face. So what event is Hank? He's event 5. I don't think Hank would jump though. He's not as like, what's the word? Not aggressive, that's not the word I'm looking for, but he's definitely a calmer barrel. And I don't think Woody'd be the type to jump either, but Meryl, Carol and Elvira do quite a bit. They get a bit angry quite easily. Okay, so he's gonna walk now, and I can't remember the positions they're in. Carol's here. Elvira would have moved up there, so let's just... No, Carol's not there. Meryl moves down there, so Carol moves there. Then Meryl will move there. She hasn't yet, but she will. And then Elvira will move there to Woody. So Hank will wake up and he will walk to Oliver. Which we could go there, or we could go all the right way round to here. But they can go back into their other positions. It's definitely actually quite a challenge, the positioning things, because it all has to be perfect for when Carol bashes into Hank. She has to like be directly in line with him so she can roll bash into him, which will be what causes the hole in him, tragically. And then she has to roll out the cart accidentally. So all that sequence of events has to happen very perfectly. So we've got to make sure the positioning is awesome. Nutty Blue, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? I'm going to just put them back in their original positions for a minute. I think that was it. Woody was there before, but I think he looks better in the left top corner, actually. Right, so I think we're going to do a test play. I'm going to mute. I did unmute things yesterday because I was playing things with the sound. But for now, I'm going to mute it again because we're not really focusing on sound still at the moment. I don't want us to get sidetracked. And I don't want to spoil things for you guys. I kind of want to leave the full awesome cutscene as a surprise with the music and sound and everything. Okay, but we will have to probably do a sound test play at some point because we want to make sure all the hijacking sounds are really cool and awesome. But yeah, I'd probably be more about getting it visually perfect first and the sounds can come in after. Hi Nutty, welcome. It's good to have you here. Okay, so here we go. So everything's muted, I think. I realised yesterday that it wasn't muted, so while we were doing test plays, the music in the game was clashing with our Final Fantasy music that we have in the background. I was like, oh god. But the reason that happened was because I reset the options plugin, so it must have put it back, and I didn't realise because I'm not actually wearing any earphones or headphones, so I can't hear what is playing in the background. I could have anything playing and I wouldn't know. Right, so okay, Carol's not in the right position already, so let's change that. I'm kind of doing this test by just to remember where they're positioned at this point when the conversation happens. But I might have no choice but to do the other assets for the barrels today. I'd say one of the main parts of today's stream, in the hijacking scene in general, is Carol falling out the barrel and bashing into Hank. That's kind of the main thing we need to get right. I'm just going to skip it. And Oliver could actually face Meryl at that point. There's definitely a lot of little touches I can do in this scene just to add a bit more. And Meryl could, like we say, go up 12 era at that point. Elvira doesn't necessarily have to move though to Woody. It could be a bit repetitive if she did. Okay, so looking at Hank and Oliver. So I have an idea. I'm going to just open our cart in Photoshop. Oh, let's go back to this screen. So we should have a cart asset somewhere. Well, wagon now. It's officially called a wagon. Have you ever tried Smile Game Builder? I haven't. I've not heard of that one, Nutty. What's that one about? Like, what sort of games can you make in that one? Okay. I think it's here. We've got the PSD of the car here. Yeah, okay, so I was wondering if Oliver should be moved here, you see. And the reason for that is because it might work out better during the scene when Carol accidentally rolls out the barrel, because actually, one sec, I'm going to make sure I print screen this, because I'm going to need to remember what their positions were originally, so I'll just print screen that. There we go, because we're going to have a mess around with the positioning. So ideally, this is what I see happening. Carol would be somewhere here or here. Hank would be with Oliver. I mean, he could be anywhere, any square that's next to Oliver, but what's going to happen is Carol rolls. Oh no, actually I'm wrong. Hank should be here. Damn, this is a challenge. Okay, so Hank should be here, but Carol needs to roll towards Oliver. We have it in here. Let's look at our dialogue thing to remind us how the sequence of events go, because it's all written up here. So basically, Carol falls and starts rolling towards Oliver. Hank jumps in front of Oliver. Carol crashes into Hank, making a hole in him, and accidentally rolls out of the car, not realising what she did to Hank. So yeah, we got to get it set up so Carol starts rolling towards Oliver, but Hank gets in the way. He sacrifices himself, bless him. It's like RPG Maker but with 3D. Oh right, that sounds really cool. Unfortunately, I have zero knowledge in 3D, so I stick to my 2D games, but it is pretty cool if you do want to make an RPG Maker, I'm sure. Sounds pretty interesting anyway. Is that what you're doing, Nutty? Okay, so yeah, she will roll and Hank will be like, no, and then he'll go there. Carol will bash into him and Hank will be like, ah. Yeah, well, it's hard to think of physics, but we don't exactly have to be realistic with physics because it's a fantasy game. But I like to still... Yeah, he could land anywhere. But he should probably be with Oliver when he... How cute would it be if Hank grabbed onto Oliver, like they were like together, hot hugging? Well, Hank grabbed him, because I'm thinking he could do that. He could like... we could have a little sprite where they're together in the same sprite to give the impression of Hank holding Oliver, and then she bashes in to Hank's backside or side, because he's actually got the hole on the side, but it's not interesting. But yeah, we can only have Carol roll vertically because the barrel will look awkward in any other way. So she'd roll into him and then they'd land somewhere together, Hank and Oliver anyway, and Carol will just roll out of the cart and she will be outside then. So that's kind of the goal. So we've got to think, how are we going to get those positions set up for them? So Oliver has to be here and Hank there. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I kind of think Oliver being in the middle just works best because, you know, we've got Meryl and Vera at the sides and it's a bit squishy, so they'd have to move. It's not impossible to do, but I kind of like him being in the middle as well because then he becomes the focus of the scene. And he kind of is. Oliver's the focus of the scene. He's the one that starts talking first. And he pokes his head out. But the thing is, if we do make Oliver start in the centre, we do have to... let's go back in Photoshop. We have to do this differently. We just need to move it across. I did like him poking his head out by the curtain though, I have to say. It might look a bit weird if he's just in the middle, but we could also have it so he moves in the middle and looks at his mama and then asks her the question while he's looking at her. That could add a bit more actually. So that would mean Carol would be there then. Hank's back up here. Meryl would go down there. Carol would get angry at Meryl and go up to her. Meryl at that point... She could get angry at Elvira, but then she could go back to her original position. And at that point, I think that's when Hank talks then. It's just like thinking, it's easy enough to get Hank to walk down to Oliver once Meryl moves back to her original position, but the awkward bit is making Carol move to the top, which has to 100% happen. And I'll put Guy back on here so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Hi Binary! Another day of barrels, wagons and Jesus and vampires. Oh my, I know, yeah. I know, right? Wow, Jesus is exclusive to my game only just because he's my custom hero. Yours can be Mr. Ferret if you want him to be. Can you imagine that being your custom hero's name? Okay, so yeah, Okay, well, I have a plan. There's nothing wrong with Carol still being here, and she can do the moving during the actual hijacking scene, during the commotion. She can start panicking and then somehow end up at this side of the cart at that point. So that we could do that. But Oliver does have to be in the middle. Okay, so I think we're going to have to do this step by step, because otherwise I'm going to have to write things down or take a bunch of screenshots of them because I'm not going to remember. So I might do that actually. So let's get them back in their original positions. And for anybody that's walked in, wondering what's going on today, we're doing some scene building. That's kind of been our focus. Everything, there's going to be a hijacking that takes place and a lot of action. People are going to get hurt, or should I say barrels are going to get hurt. And the positioning of the barrels during this action sequence and hijacking is like essential, basically. So it's all about planning this. So it looks really cool and awesome. Gretch, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. I went a bit invisible then, didn't I? Got powers. Boards are going to get broken. One of our dear friends here called Dave had a really good idea the other day. He said he thinks that there should be in some scene scraps of wood on the floor, and it really, like, Carol freaks out when she sees it, because to her it would be like looking at something really gory, seeing scraps of wood on the floor, just like it would be for us if we saw like blood and flesh. I don't know, I thought that was quite endearing. Invisi Rose, dear friend Dave. How are things going, Gretch? How's your Final Fantasy playthrough treating you? I'm now in the same Final Fantasy server as Gretch Star, because I renewed my Final Fantasy sub. Final Fantasy 14, that is. Okay, so original positions are going to be that. Okay, so I'm going to screenshot that. So we're just doing a couple of things a little bit differently. And I think it's an improvement, actually. So it's going to start like that. Then Oliver's going to move there and look at Carol. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. It's probably the most sensible thing to do, to take screenshots of all the positioning, just so I don't forget. And then Meryl moves down here. Well, we can do it in low. We don't have to do it step by step. We can do it like that. So that'll be the next one when Carol walks up. Meryl moves down. And Carol walks up to Meryl. But actually now Oliver's in the middle. It makes more sense for Meryl to go down there, I suppose, if she starts telling a story. But then Carol would have to go there. All the decisions. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm like trying to make sure this is gonna work well. I want to blow everyone's socks off with this scene. And scene making is my favourite part of the whole game development thing, so I want to make sure it looks good. I have to grind some levels to beat Chaos, and then it's on to Final Fantasy 2. Oh, are you doing a Final Fantasy marathon? So that would be that. But the problem is if Carol does that, then Meryl won't be able to get through to tell Elvira off. But we could set things up so we could make it work. Let's have a look at how the dialogue goes. She could like tell her off and then go up there. Yeah, that could work. So let's do that. My goodness, though, I have to say, now we've got we got that bug sorted yesterday. Now that we sorted that problem, doing the positioning is going to be so much easier during these parts. It'd be an absolute nightmare if we had to plot the coordinates all the time, especially because they're moving around a lot and not stuck in one position. It just gives us the freedom to have more movement with our sprites as well, rather than just have them be like rooted to the spot during every single talking sequence. It kind of feels like it's not as fun that way. I want to have a lot of movement happen. Okay, so Yeah, there. And then she'd move up there. So what I'm doing is I'm screenshotting all these movement plans, putting them in paint. And then once that's done, we'll be able to do the scene step by step. We're going to have to do the side views and back views of the barrels as well, though, because at the moment we've only got the front view sprites. We've got the side and back for Carol, though, but we've got to just do it for the others. So then Meryl will move to Elvira. I'm not going to have Elvira move to Woody, though. Because we don't want to overdo it with the move, and it could look a bit repetitive if it's the same all the time. So Elvira's going to stay where she is. Maybe Elvira's just a little bit more lazy and doesn't move as much as Meryl and Carol. So that, I mean, that would fit. She's just there smoking her cig. She might want to can't be bothered to do moving. So at that point, Meryl would have to move back to her other position, which I could imagine her doing after she's had her little say to Elvira anyway. So that would allow Hank the freedom to walk up to Oliver, because there's a space now for him. So that's worked out well. So this is what I've got, guys, in my paint file. I've got all the movements of each of this theme. Final Fantasy February and March and April. I'm gonna say, if you manage to play all those Final Fantasy games in February, that would be a speedrunner. I have to say, Gretch. But that sounds lots of fun. Rex did that. He went through the Final Fantasy games, starting from 1 and then he went to 2. It was a lot of fun to watch all that. So good luck, Gretch. You can do it. Okay, so moved it. We haven't decided for Hank's dialogue yet. All we know is that he scoots down to Oliver and says something sweet to him and explains the real reason stars exist, showing off his knowledgeable wisdom. Okay. And then Elvira is like, oh, that's my sweet tub or sweet part, whatever term of endearment we want to use for Elvira to Hank. And then I'd say that these positions here are how they'll be during the hijacking. So there we go. I think this could work out well, actually, because all Carol has to do at this point is move right once and she'll be lined up perfectly to roll into Hank. But I've just realised something. It needs to look like she's rolling into Oliver. So yeah, that can be where Hank goes when he talks to Oliver. And then the hijacking will happen. Carol will move there in the panic. But eventually she'll be there. Or here. Maybe even here. So there can be more of a role and therefore more dangerous because she's further away. How do people find the flipping time? I still need to play through all Witchers and there are only 3 of those. Excuse my language. Flipping's alright, isn't it? It's the OKF word, I suppose. Well, the OKF word would be food. That's the best F word. I think we can all agree on that one. But yeah, I know what you mean, binary. I feel the same way. I guess it's just about prioritising and been like, I'm gonna do this, so it's gonna happen. That's what life's about, because it's so busy nowadays for everybody. Some things have to be sacrificed so we can do things that we need to do. Flipping heck, did I swear? Okay, so yeah, this will be the position with the hijacking. So I'm going to screenshot that, and then it will all begin. We can just start the roll. So we're going to have to do a Carol roll animation as well. And that's going to be adventurous, I'm sure. We'll see how that goes. So there we go. So here's our plan. They're all here. All the parts are at the positioning. So at least I'm not going to forget. Okay, so let's put them back where they were before. And a good job I've done that, because I'd have forgot all their original positions. There. Well, here. Okay, so let's get this done. So now that, well, we're gonna have to do this with Photoshop. We're gonna be doing bits of asset making and bits of putting together the cutscene and the positioning of the characters. Because right now we don't have much, we don't have walking sprites for them really. We're going to open them up now. We're going to see what we've got. So let's have a peep. Okay, so here they all are, the 6 of them. I'm going to open them now. So, that's Woody. Well, I'm going to get the cart off for now, because I don't think we need to make any edits to that this time. So Woody's there. Then we've got Oliver, Meryl, Hank, Elvira and Carol. So as you can see, Carol's the one we've got all the assets for. So we're going to use her as a template to get the others' assets. Except for Oliver and Woody, of course, because they're not barrels. We'll put them in order of appearance. So Oliver speaks first, then Carol, then Meryl, then Elvira, and then Woody, and then Hank. But Woody stays rooted to the spot in this scene, so we don't actually need any Woody movement for now. He's going to just stay in that corner. It's the others that move, so we'll only do what we need for now, and we'll build on these assets over time, I'm sure. Hi Grim Exiled, welcome back to the stream. Oliver's master. What a cutie pie. So one thing we do need then, now that we've changed the start of the scene, is that we need a side view of Oliver. So he turns, well, he moves right to his mom, Carol, and looks at her. So see if we can pull this off. I mean, we could, I tend to do my pixel work in graphic scale, the actual detailed stuff, but the actual sprite sheet gets put into Photoshop because it's just easier doing it this way. Whereas I don't actually like doing the pixel work in Photoshop as much. But I don't mind doing the editing bits in Photoshop, that's not too bad. Okay, so all that's lined up, so we need to, let's look at Carol. So if we look at Carol's second row, that's her facing left, and then the other one's facing right, so we actually need to put that one there. So the easiest thing to do is probably going to be But now I'm going to get rid of the face. And obviously we don't need that at the front, now we're at the side. So that'd work as the perfect back view for Oliver, actually. I feel we should probably copy and paste that now, considering we'll need that as well. So that everybody, this is Oliver's butt. Sorry, that's very inappropriate. We should not be saying that about a child. Okay. And report you for showing his innocent butt on stream. I knew somebody would. I was like, damn it. I said the wrong thing. My life on Twitch is over now. I really screwed up there big time. I'm going to get reported and banned for that. So is Oliver a cookie jar? What kind of cookies does he carry? He is a cookie jar, and there's a lot of backstory to be filled out, which I'm going to be honest about. We don't know why he's a cookie jar and who owned him, other than their name was Oliver. Because one thing we do have to do is put name Oliver on his little red ribbon, because that's why he's called Oliver in the first place, because he happened to have name Oliver on him. So we know his previous owner was someone called Oliver, and they're probably going to be a future NPC that shows up somewhere. It's still a mystery who Oliver, the real Oliver, is. And he holds cookies, but that's not going to be what he's going to be doing in the long term. He's going to be used for other purposes, same as the other barrels in the story, that they are containers that are going to be used for other things, very criminal activities, very bad things are going to be put inside them. Raindrops. But it is bad because it's raindrops is the currency, and you're not meant to do that. It's illegal. But we did have a talk about that. We've got like a flow diagram of how it's all going to work and that. But there's still a lot of gaps to fill, for sure. But what I intend to do, especially when the website stuff's done and over with, is to start making lore videos and more story videos. I want to do that consistently, so that if you guys ask questions and like, so what's the story with this, or what's happening here, then I can just send you the video, and that'll be a good way to do things, I think. Then fill it with ginger snaps if someone reaches in snap. And he's made out of like clay or ceramic, or so he's very precious. He better not drop. It hurts to think about that happening. Okay, so that's him from the back. Imagine if we actually did a little butt though. How bad would that be? This game would be like R-rated all of a sudden. It wouldn't be hard to do. We're not going to do that. I think it's enough having Meryl have a bra on. If someone put their hand inside, what does Oliver feel? Yeah, this stuff is interesting. Maybe they feel violated because they're alive now, they're sentient. So how would they feel if what we do know is that Carol didn't appreciate it when the hero was inside her. Like at the very start of the game, the hero, the first time you ever see your hero after the character creation bit, you see him in Carol. And she is deeply offended by it, and she kicks him out, or her. So we know that I guess it depends on personality as well. Some barrels might not mind, but other ones might disapprove. Carol the Barrel, I arrived at the right time. Hi Sean, welcome back. How are you doing today? Yeah, everybody loves Carol. And if you don't love Carol, you'll grow to love her. She's going to be an absolute beloved character. Quite well, thanks. Yay, I'm glad to hear it. So if we're doing him from the side now, I think Oliver might be a little easier to pull off his side view than the barrels were. So I think it's meant to be about here. But I don't think that was the bit I should have copied and pasted actually. It should be this bit. Interesting how to do it, really. Definitely feel we need some sort of outline. Even though from the front it's pale, kind of looks weird from the side to do it like that. Okay, so good morning, Rose. How you doing, Naz? It's good to see you again. Hope you're having a good day so far. So I'm just trying to make sure everything's aligned how it should be. As you can see, this part here, it goes halfway through the cheek and at the edge of the eye. And the mouth is exactly in line with the bottom of the eye. So, and it's got like one little square between it. So I'm just making sure all that matches. there we go, we've got Oliver from the side. He's a lot easier to do than the barrels from the side, that's for sure, but the barrels are generally very wide. They fill up the whole square, the sprite square, so, and their faces are very small compared to the width of them, so it kind of wouldn't hurt if you can't really see their face when they're from the side, but for someone like Oliver, you would need to. So is he carrying a tray? Once you see his face, you will know what that is. It's literally a label with cookies on it. So if we get his face up, you'll see. It's all about context, isn't it, with things like that. So this is him. This is him, his avatar. So you can see he's got his cookies. It kind of identifies him as a cookie jar. And that's his red ribbon below him. It was definitely a challenge to do the sprite version of that, but I don't think we've done a bad job. I see his cute smile now, the sprite I meant. Oh, right. He is a cutie. So I think that's all aligned. So we just need to there we go. So that's how it should be. We got Carol facing left there, and that's there we go. So now we can save him and we can put the side view into the scene like we want it to. Save. Oh, let's just flatten that as well. Aye, so back to the scene for a moment. Here's event 1, Oliver. Move left, and I think that's it. So he's facing Carol. When he, no, not move left, move right. Duh. Move right. So he'll move right. Be there. That'll be there. He'll be facing his mom, and then he'll ask her the question. So that will get the movements in place we need. I've gone as far as doing different like positionings they'll be in throughout the scene. So that's the first. This is the second. And it will eventually take us to how they're meant to be positioned for the big event. So that's going to be our final one. So we're just going through all the positions we need, getting everything ready for the big event. Okay, so let's just test that then to see how it looks. That middle column of image is a bit lower. Does that matter? It does. We need that for their little hop they do when they walk. Otherwise, they would, with their walking animation, would be them sliding across the screen. So that slightly lower part is just to give the impression of them hopping when they move. Okay, so let's test. Hi Storm, how you doing? It's good to see you. How are things going, Storm? We're still working on our barrel cut scene at the moment. It's going good. Okay, so one thing we do need to do now we have moved Oliver is move his box along. And as I was saying earlier, Oliver is the only character in the whole game so far that we're manually plotting the coordinates for now with his dialogue boxes because he's small. He's half the size of the other sprites, so we want, his box needs to be a bit lower, you see. Otherwise, they would set it up so that it's got, you know, above the event, and it will leave a bit of a gap. And unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be an easy way to make Oliver have a sort of lower bit, like an offset or anything on him. So we need to manually do that, but it doesn't hurt just for one character. And so what we need to do, it's the x-axis, isn't it, that? So we just need to move that across by about 100 or so pixels, I'd say. We'll have a look and see. Oh, that's neat looking. Yeah, it's loads of fun. I'm having a blast doing the cutscene stuff. I mean, we will be revisiting the boss mechanics for the first boss in the forest, which are our lovable fruits. We'll be revisiting them probably in a week or so's time, I'd say, once we've got this cutscene done. But this cutscene's going to be so cool, and I will probably make a YouTube video to show it off as well. I'm thinking I want to do that. I want to start making more YouTube videos for certain parts of the game, just to like give it a bit of promo and show it off. Certain scenes, certain fights, and definitely for the lore as well, to go through important lore bits that we decide on. Okay, so we'll see if we put it as that, where the position will be then, but it might be off slightly. We might need to move it again. Right, it's definitely too far now. I'd say we need it to be about 50 pixels then, or between 40 and 50 somewhere. One thing I think we could do as well, that is make the weight about maybe 120, and then add this extra 60 here. Just so he's looking at Carol for a little bit before he speaks. I'm going to see if that will be more the position. I'm peckish one already. It's only just gone 4 o'clock. But I've got some fruit in the fridge, so I might bring that up soon. I can see a little pixel that shouldn't be there on that card. I need to edit that at some point. One thing I am thinking of doing is making Meryl face the other way. So only the line of, like, the bra isn't actually showing, just like a pink line. But then when it's her turn to speak, she'll turn around and the bra will be on show. So, because it's kind of revealing the funny bit before it even begins otherwise. And we don't want the attention to be taken away from Oliver and Carol in this scene. But let's face it, seeing that barrel will make some people think, is that bra on a barrel there? So I think it probably will be a good idea to make a turnaround until her moment to shine comes. Oh, hang on. Was it in the right position? I didn't even say. I'm going to have to start that again. Sean, thank you for that follow, by the way. I appreciate that. This has become one of my favourite streams. That's so kind. My goodness. Thank you. I'm glad that you feel that way about my stream. I imagine this software allows for language files, right? RPG Maker, do you mean like translating into other languages and things? I think it's possible, if that's what you're asking, because I played an RPG game once, many years ago, an RPG Maker game, that did have the dialogue translated into another language. I forgot what language it did have get translated into now, but they definitely did that with their game. I'm not sure how they went about doing that, but it must be possible, and that was an RPG Maker 2000 game. So I think there should be. It would be pretty bad if there wasn't a way to do something like that. So yes, and things like that, it's not something I've considered much of, but they're also very important things to consider, especially towards closer to release. But it's one of those things that you can always release at a later time as well. I know that game that I did play that had a translation, it got brought out a year or so after, I guess. So I don't know, not sure whether they did it themselves. I think what happened was a fan of the game translated it for the developer, because they wanted other people to probably experience the story, which is pretty cool. So I think someone might have translated it for them, because otherwise it's pretty hard to do if you don't know in any other languages. Okay, so it is a little bit off. I think 5 pixels more to the right. I'm so glad we only have to do this for Oliver now. So glad he's the only one we have to do it for. I can't wait to make that map pretty. 1 pixel to the left. I'm being very fussy here, but we're close now. So, and then what happens then? Okay, so Meryl does need to move closer to Oliver, and she tells her part of the story. And I can imagine Oliver turning to face Meryl as well during these parts. And maybe Carol will face left herself. Okay, so let's put together that next part. I've helped some game devs do translations. We always did in Discord. Two members took about 2 months to do 4 languages. Oh, that's really, really cool. And it's always a good idea if the developer has somebody that can help out with things like that, for sure, who knows that the language that it's being translated to. I think it's always good if other people can experience a story that might not be able to if it was just in the one language. Your shirt has green in it. Yeah, it's weird because some blue things that I wear, it's actually blue. The green screen gets them as well, so it all depends on the shade of blue it is. But I like this shirt too much to not wear it. I guess I'll have to be the invisible lady sometimes. When I do that, I'm the invisible lady a little bit. Well, a little bit of an invisible lady anyway. Okay, so yeah, Carol can. So we got Meryl there. I'm still unsure if we should have Meryl show up at this point. So what I'm going to do is move that down a bit lower. But Carol, she's event 3. She will turn left. and she has to move down 2 spots there. So I'm going to see that now. But we're going to alter Meryl's asset a bit in this scene. We're going to make a face from the back at first, so we're going to have to do Meryl's next. Enjoy the BRB. I know, I've thought about doing that, like, because I have a full-on green sweater. I've thought about wearing it on stream and being like a floating head, but that would be creepy, wouldn't it? Yeah, and Ollie conveys Meryl as well then. Okay, so first of all, let's work on Meryl's asset. We'll get that job done. Might have to get my snack in a sec. So back to the Photoshop. And yes, we're not actually working on the hijacking stuff specifically right now, but I feel like the setup for that and getting all of it working is important too. If we don't have time to do that bit today on stream, at least we've got something to look forward to next week. Okay, so Meryl, here she is. So we're gonna have to do all her assets. So now this is going to be the interesting bit, because it isn't doing the side parts. It's not easy to do manually. It took quite a while to get them looking right, because as you can see, the bit at the top of the barrel flipped, like, well, it's rotated by 90 degrees. And I'd actually drew that from scratch. I didn't just flip the top of the lid because it didn't look right. So what I'm thinking could be a good way to do this, rather than do it from scratch again for Meryl, and obviously because we want it to look consistent to Carol, is probably just recolor it. And I haven't wrote down how I recolored it exactly, but yes, I did. When I made Meryl's sprite, it was a recoloring of Carol's barrel, so I don't think it's going to be impossible to do. We've got to just make sure we get the colours right. So image adjustments and selective colour, I think we did it on. And I am going to copy, I'm going to have 2 layers of that because we might need the other layer in a sec. Yeah, and so as you can see, we can easily edit the colour so we can get more of a light colour that Meryl is. But we want it to be exact. We don't want it to be off at all. So what I am going to do is just stick a bit of part of Meryl in front. And then when we do recolour it, we know it's the same then, because it won't like look weird, and there won't be some weird line there. It would have been a lot easier if I did save the colour codes, but unfortunately I didn't. My tummy's doing a rumble. And we could recolour it manually by, just changing the colours in Photoshop. I feel that's the longer way, so we'll do it this way instead. And I think we're pretty close now. We will need to recolour the side bits though. the rings. But we're not far off. Just a little bit off. Just a touch. They have to sort of match. I hope you guys can't hear my belly. You've got me over a barrel. Hi Scarlett, how you doing? Yeah, I don't think we want to edit those bits. What I think we will need to do is go back in it. You know what? That might be as close as we're gonna get. There's very little difference, if any. So now that bit's recoloured, we need to do the actual ring. And now we can either do this the long way by filling in all the colours. Hang on, let's see if there's an effective way to do that. Can we get we say similar, then we can get a colour picker and do it to them all. Well, that's a big brush. But we need to, so we don't miss any bits. I don't mind doing it this way for the rings because they're a much smaller area. It's probably easier to do it this way for them. Then this bit. But this will be a good job done. Doing character assets and stuff, especially like when you're doing the custom ones like these guys, can be a time-consuming job. So it's always a useful thing to get out of the way. Similar. Oh no, well we don't want to add that part of the barrel. I have to be careful here. I think we could have done this multiple ways. We could have probably also done it by grabbing all the colour bits and just copying, putting them on a layer on top. That might have been quicker, I'm not sure. I think that's done all those. So There's more different colours in this little section than I thought there'd be. Similar. Wow, well, there is a lot of different ones. There. But I might do this another way with the other characters. Let's try a more effective way. I thought there was only about 4 different colours in it, so it's taking longer. I might have done them wrong, which makes me paranoid because I want to get it as colours right. Similar. I might have grabbed the wrong bit. I think it's that one. Okay. So at least this is a few more pixels. We get in there. Just a few little bits of greys in the middle. My goodness, this looks like they're all a bunch of different shades. And I would have given up by now and just grabbed to the middle of Carol and copied it, but the bra's in the way. So, yeah. I just realised I haven't done that bit. I forgot that about. Oh well, what I can do, I can just focus on the one and just copy and paste it over. No problem at all. Because it's the same asset, it's just slightly raised. Okay. My goodness, sisters. I'm not doing it this way next time with the rings. I'm gonna do this manually and just do it the one and then just copy and paste. We'll just zoom in super close. There's way more different colours in this than I expected there to be. It's gonna just be easier to do it this way. Okay, is that it? Hope so. Oh. Delete. I think that's the same asset now. Only difference is that one's got a bra on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge all these. I'm going to just use this one. Everything's aligned. Okay, so Meryl's backside. It's as easy as... Hang on, I'm actually wondering about this one. Flip. Vertical? No. No, that's not how you do it. Right. Oh, damn it. I thought, yeah. It was actually done manually as well, I think. I should have... Okay, I'll have to do this again. I mean, what I could do is actually... Probably the best way to do this is to... do that and then just I don't think I flipped it, you know. There's a shadow there that looks odd that isn't on that one. So I must have done it manually or added something manual. So I'm going to have to do it this way instead. First of all, I'm gonna I might just do it to the one. In all honesty, it's easier. And now we've got to just make sure the colours match. bit of a dark little pixel there that's bugging me, so I'm just making it lighter. Don't think it looks as bad on the side views. Okay, so they're done. It's just about the bra then. So obviously it's not gonna have those bits at the front. It's gonna be right. We're gonna do the back one first because that's the one we need. The one we need right now. Delete the face. Do you think you'll have an affinity with barrels after this game? Well, do you mean me or the player? I'm fond of the barrels already, but if you mean the player, there is a romance option with Carol. And at the moment, that's all we've got in terms of relationship or like or anything like that. But who knows how it'll expand over time. Who knows? Me? Well, for sure. I'd say that they're everything to me already. I'm very attached. Can't help it. Who wouldn't know? I think everyone who plays this would get attached to them. Right, I'm gonna maybe move them up one. I mean, you have an affinity for the barrels, don't you, Binary? You need barrel. Oh my goodness! Imagine if we had plushes of these guys. Oh my goodness. Just imagine it. Do you know why there's a gap there? I'm trying to work that out. Ah, that needs moving up, that's why. Yeah, we're nearly there with this now. The shape was just a little bit off. Carol for life. Which one would you have as a plushie though, Binary? That's the question. You'd be pick Carol, obviously, wouldn't you? Carol would be the top selling barrel plushie. My goal is to make the other characters just as lovable, so everyone buys the other plushies too. Okay, so we might need to delete these bits. Because we can't just put them over the side view ones because it looks different. So probably going to there. Gone. I think that's the right position. So we need, which one's the, yeah, we need the pad thing. Oops. Hi Trubaldi, how you doing? It's good to see you. We're doing fabulous, aren't we? I'm doing fab, Binary's doing fab. Well, I think Binary's doing fab. Might be mistaken. I shouldn't assume. But he seems in a good mood because he's thinking of, he's got Carol on his mind, so that's why. Binary would totally romance Carol with Barrel. Nimsource, thank you for the follow, welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh, thank you for the Discord command, and yes, everyone's welcome. If you want to come along and join our lovely Discord, you are more than welcome. Oh wow, this is an interesting perspective. This was why we struggled to do the barrels. Side views in general, because of it's a strange perspective. I feel like there's not going to be much that shows of the bra part, because like we says, if we look at the actual, it doesn't. There's a lot of width there, you know, and a lot of that would be hidden from the side. So I feel like only that much would show. It looks weird now, got rid of that shade though. Hi Nim. Everything in Rosie's stream is always fab. Oh, thank you. My really shiny top day. Yeah, I'm going like a little bit invisible because of my green screen. Shiny. How you doing, Nim? Welcome to the stream. We are making a game here. And we are getting a web. If you can see in the title, and anyone else who's lurking, we will be launching the website for Stream 100. But in the meantime, we have this. But will be fun to show off the website in that command instead from the next stream onwards. For now, I'm not going to bother with the bra bit because it's a little bit more fiddly, so I'm going to just leave it as the line for now from the sides. That'll do. Carol is looking Meryl is looking fabulous. Carol. Got Carol on the brain. Okay, so now we've done Meryl's asset, let's revisit our cutscene. She is going to be facing the other way now. Oops, it hasn't updated. Let's cross it off and reload again. Oh my goodness, True Baldy, look at you. Zooming up that leaderboard. Carol, I know, I'm not denying it though, Binary, I admit it. Some people might be in denial about loving a barrel. But don't be ashamed. Never be ashamed. This game, the whole point in it, the point of this game is to make you realise that loving barrels is okay. That is the whole point. Okay, so Meryl's going to face that way so she don't show the bra. And then at this point she will change to the asset. Yes, that's correct, and she'll jump and move down. I think that'll work fine. We will look at a test play now and see how it looks. And Van as well. You guys are lurking pros. Need to work on my character. This work has just had me busy. Yeah, no rush at all. You are free to do it whenever you'd like to. And don't forget, you know, this is a slow process. All the characters will gradually get introduced throughout the episodes when the time is right for them to be in the story. So no rush. Okay, I think she should face the front before she speaks, though. And maybe there should just be a little pause there, so we're not thrown with dialogue boxes left, right, and centre. Okay. Also, yeah, we got to move Oliver's bar across, and we're gonna have a bit more movement from Oliver as well. So let's do those edits. So we've got to have a face down. Yeah, turn down. I think we've already changed had the image as that one, so that's fine. We'll wait for 60 frames there. At that point now, where's Ollie? Is Ollie this event. He will turn up. Oh yay, ideas. I'm excited. Okay, so I think I've done a couple of edits so we can see the next part. Oh yes, Carol's going to move up tomorrow. We'll do that first. So up one and left one, which is the position has kind of changed a bit. So hang on. Oh, it's up one and left two actually, I was going to say, and then turn down. I think that's correct, looking at that. And then up, up, turn down. Okay, yeah, we got a Meryl turn to face Carol at that point as well, of course. And then Elvira speaks, which will take us to that scene, I think. Yeah, this one here, this middle one. So let's do a test play of all this. All the movements and positioning going on today. Oops, accidentally got my BRB screen up there. We need to move Oliver's thingy across one. Yeah, he turns a little bit early as well. And she should probably turn to look at Ollie too. Oh yeah, his dialogue box as well. Oh yeah, I made an error with Carol's movement there. Right, let's fix those. There's a few little bits to do. Oh, I had turn left instead of move left, that's why. Okay, so now let's test. Meryl's just suddenly appeared. I want more build up to that. See your turn. Also, Ollie should look at her at that point. Okay, so Carol's by Hank, so I think that's correct. Just like there's a few little things to do, like the way that the direction, the face, and that. And I think I don't need the weight in between the walk either, so I can get rid of that. Okay, so let's do a few little things. I think we need that there, but we'll put a wait for completion there. And now that's the way to fix that bit. Okay, let's just say, before we carry into the next bit, I want to make sure this bit's perfect first. Yeah, you should definitely look at Carol at that point too. Maybe Carol should still face the other way though, because she's not the focus at the moment. And she's gone in a strop. She don't want to look at Meryl. Okay, so let's do a couple of things. Hi Heroine, how are you doing today? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful week. And I'll remind you guys again today, just in case any of you don't know, no stream tomorrow. Just a very one-off. I don't usually take days off, but it's so stream 100, which is the next special stream, will be the website release, and I just need a bit more time to get it done. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow instead of streaming. I also thought about, because it's an interruption, this scene, we don't really want the wait thing. It's a bit weird. So actually I'm going to get rid of that and make her talk when she's facing that way, and then turn down after. Carol should also turn up, really. Oops, not that. Oh, she's oh, that's fine. And then there. You can turn right. Oh, not move right. Turn right. There. Okay, and now at this point, Meryl's gonna move up to Elvira. So event 2, because that's Meryl's event. So what is it? It's up 1, no, up 2, 1, 2, and then right 1. So we'll do that first. Move up 2 and then turn right. Okay, so let's see now. I think we're getting closer now though. We're getting there towards the actual hijacking part. Break time! Wanted to ask Rose, non-game related, what are some of your favourite places to visit in the UK? My fiance and I are getting married in October and our honeymoon will be starting off in London. We might go to many areas of Britain but still figuring it out. Hopefully it's not too distracting a question, lol. Well, Britain has some is lovely in any city. I'm such a hermit that I'm no expert of areas in the country. There's still a lot of the country I haven't seen, surprisingly, but I love Warwickshire. That's a really nice place that's in the Midlands anyway, which is one of my more local areas that happen to be a nice place. But there's some really nice places down south and also up north as well, like the Lake District and stuff. But if you want to actually see something, then the cities are a good place to go as well. It all depends what your sort of thing is, but London's always a good one because it's London. So there's a lot. If you like seeing things, if you're going for more of a sightseeing holiday, then definitely play London's a good one. No, that's great. So it's totally what your thing is. If you want more of a relaxing, peaceful holiday, then somewhere away in the middle of nowhere, like the Lake District, is nice. But if you like seeing things, then maybe one of the bigger cities is a good choice. Hiking and historical areas, awesome. Yeah, there's a lot. So, but honestly, anywhere there's, you know, have a look on, search the net and see what people recommend. But up north, there's lots of really nice hiking places, and especially there's some hilly areas. I remember when I was a kid, I went on a school trip and had to climb a hill, and it was so exhausting. And that there's one not far from me as well, but there's some even better ones up north because I'm in the Midlands. It's not too mountainous and hilly where I am. Thank you, you're welcome, and I hope it goes wonderfully. That sounds really lovely. October's not long away. Not long at all. It's already February. Make sure when you go you take lots of pickies so we can all see them. We have a picky snap section on the Discord. Anybody can share whatever they want. Have so much to still do. Wow, it's still a while away. It's over half a year away still anyway, so you've got time. I think we're getting that a bit more with the positioning and the directions they're facing now. It's an improvement from how it was at the start of stream anyway. Okay, so Meryl's positioning went a bit weird. I'll fix that. Okay, so Oliver needs to definitely face up at that point. Oh, Hank's alive now. Okay, so it's restarting. We should probably put a random weight here so that we don't keep looping. Oh, a massive arcade club. Yeah, if you like gambling, and there's where you go. Some very interesting places in York. Manchester's full of cool places, also Lake District win. Yeah, I said a good one. I'm happy now when I said the Lake District. But yeah, it's London, Manchester. If you wanna see the big cities, they're probably two of the best cities in the UK. I really like Manchester's shopping centre. It's been a few years since I last went, so it might have changed, but when I last went it was really cool. I prefer it to some of the ones that I've seen anyway. They're more local. Finally saw Oliver walk. Ooh, don't like gambling, lol. Hello, hi 3D Shay, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream, how are you doing? Okay, so we got to fix the things that weren't quite right. First of all, Oliver's dialogue box. He's the only character who we have to manually plot the coordinates for now. And that's only because he has a small sprite. We have to kind of make the box go lower. But everybody else, it's so much easier now. Since yesterday's stream when we spent some time fixing that. Thank you for the follow, 3D Shay. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Doing great working on a client VR game. Greetings from London. Oh, we got another London, but I don't know if we have any other London people hanging out. But it's funny because we were just talking about London. We got a friend who's going there on a visit, who is now it's in stream actually. Well, not just a visit, a very special visit. Very special one. The Shambles, it's a very old street that looks like, oh, Binary Ferret knows his stuff. He's probably been out more than me, that's why. I'm not one that goes outside much. But I hope your VR game's going well. That sounds super interesting. If you want to know more about what we're doing, we have a command. We'll actually be having a website next week, so we'll get to show off that to peeps that pop in the stream. So that will be exciting. Ooh, are you Naz? I love how you guys are all super creative. It's awesome to meet the fellow creative peoples. So where were we again? Yeah, that. So we're going to make Oliver face up when he speaks. But he probably should look up a bit earlier, actually. I feel like he should, because he's still facing left, and Meryl moved a long time ago, so he should probably look up. At this point, actually. But I think Meryl's movement was a bit off. Yeah, it's because we had turn right instead of move right. That's something I do quite often by mistake. Okay, so another test play. There's still a little few messy bits in places, but we're getting there. Catch you later, going to work for a bit, keep up the good work. Thank you, Shay. Thanks for stopping in, it's good to meet you, and good luck with your work. Yeah, Carol should probably face that way too. Okay, so there's a couple of things to do. We've got to make Meryl move back to a position, and there's a bit of facing stuff with Carol and Ollie that we need to perfect a bit more. But other than that, I'd say that we're ready to move on to the Hank part. And he's not rusty. I know I had to. I'm kind of laughing because of the way they move as well and do the jumping. I just felt like doing it to kind of express their anger. It's the barrel's way of throwing a tantrum. So it fits with that particular dialogue box a lot. She's very mad at her lovable oil drum greasy boyfriend being called Rusty. She's mad. Okay, so Meryl needs to move back so that there's room for Hank to move over to Oliver. This game is going to be amazing, thank you. I really hope so. I'm trying to me into something good. I mean, what it is now, it's come a long way from what it was. I feel like I'm taking the project more seriously as time's going on as well. It kind of was like super casual at the start. I was like, yeah, let's just make it a silly game, and it's still very silly. But I'm kind of just taking the project more seriously, and it sort of turned into a bit of a passion. That's what it's a lot of fun, and it's thanks to you guys why we've got all this amazing dialogue as well, because Twitch chat has said some really awesome things, little one-liners that the characters can say, and it's going to make us have some really good scenes in our game. The Tower of London. Yay! Well, I'm glad you've got a few plans. Okay, so probably that. Don't we need the weight there though? So she would just move left once. I think that's it. And then Woody talks. And Carol's got to turn left as well. That was something I noticed. I think Oliver should also turn up a bit earlier than he does. Probably there actually. So I think that will be good now. And then Hank will appear and we can have his bit. And then like we're literally just a couple of boxes away from the hijacking scene. Exciting times. Have a little quick look into that as well before we finish stream, hopefully. Awesome, good luck with your sounds, Naz. Thanks for the chats. Maybe we should go as far as just making his little face on his sprite be sad as well, because at that point, because I'm kind of doing that now in the cutscene with Rose and Carol that comes after this flashback. I actually made a few different faces for Rose especially, so I will be doing a lot of different sprite expression work in this game. I think it's a lot of fun, adds a lot of character to the scenes as well. Oh yeah, so that's looking okay so far. Hank's appeared now, so he's going to move into his position, and then he's going to tell the story to Oliver, and then we'll set up the hijacking scene. Okay, so he needs to move in the bottom left corner. It's probably the best place. 1, 2. Okay, let's do that now. So oh yeah, what event is Hank? Oh, 5. It was right there in my face. And then face. Right. So we have to do Hank's walking asset as well. That's one we all have to do, but it's, yeah. It involves a bit of side view with Hank, so we will have to do it. It's more than just him moving down. But let's get dialogue thingy up. Yeah, so there's literally just the 2 lines. We haven't actually got Hank's yet. That was something we didn't do. So we might have to think about that on the next stream, Monday. But we are basically really close now to doing it. The hijacking bit, so. Have to also do a sprite that combines Hank and Oliver, so I might look into doing that as well now before we end the stream, along with Hank's at it. And also, of course, Carol's rolling sprite. Those are the next ones we have to do. But we also have to consider things like sounds and like screen shakes and things. We're gonna have to do all the special effects as well at this point. So it's all very, very fun. All the fun stuffs. So I am going to go on a quick BRB, folks. I've got to get myself a snack. I'm really hungry. And I will be back in a few. And we'll carry on with this scene. It's going well. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so right, where were we? We're going to work on Hank's asset next. My goodness, it's freezing. Okay, so back to Photoshop. Yeah, Elvira, we don't need to bother thinking about right now because she actually just stands on the spot. So we'll cross her off for now. Hank's middle looks a bit weird. I thought that earlier. I'm gonna do something. I must have just like literally done a square or something to get rid of his face. Not very a good idea. Let's get him looking a bit better. That's much better. Oh, great. The green screen hasn't made it invisible. I must have a blue green screen because my tops are invisible instead. So I'm going to try and do this even quicker than how we did Meryl. But to be honest, it probably will because Hank's grey, and when it comes to recolouring him, it's a lot easier. So we can just like use a desaturation thing. It's just more straightforward. Now the question is, I don't know what sort of grey he should be, so I'm probably gonna just do that. So we can at least get it matching. I worship the sofa. That's it. That's an awesome name. I worship the barrels. That's me. I'm the worshipper of barrels. You're the worshipper of sofas. Really new to game dev here. What kind of work does make the majority of developing game programming, designing, or engine stuff? Depends what you decide you want to focus on. It's like up to you. Like for me, for example, I'm doing minimal programming in this. and minimal artwork as well, actually, because I'm using a lot of borrowed resources, assets and scripts. So most of that's already done for me, which means that my job is really building and designing the game and doing the world and the writing and all that kind of stuff. It leaves me more time to do that side of the game development rather than the code, which is good, because it would be a lot of work otherwise. And it's totally fine if you want to do it 100% yourself as well, but also will make a pretty long development time as well for your game. But it's just up to you. Luckily, I mean, obviously RPG Maker's a pretty good software to use if you're not really a coder and you want to make an RPG. But if you are a coder, you'd probably rather go for something like Unity or instead, or Game Maker, if that is yours. So you've got more flexibility with with the sort of game you want to make, because RPG Maker does have its limitations. But it's just all up to you and your project and what it is you're trying to make. It's different for everybody, I guess. But good luck. I believe in you. I'm sure it will go well. 50 Shades of Carol. So I think that looks about right on Hank. So there. We will have to delete the these bits though. We don't want them. Maybe. Hank looks like a worry, but I know. And this isn't even his most depressing face. Have you seen his most depressing face? Let me get it up right now. I love how you said worried boy when he's an old man. He's a boy and he's 80. Where is he? Where's Hank's other asset? I don't think I've saved it in the sprite sheet, but I've got it here. That's Hank post cart hijacking. That's what you call a worried boy. Oh God, it makes my heart break just looking at it. Oh, Hank. Thank you for such a reflected answer. I'm a coder from before, so I'd probably focus more on that, but also really like Pixar. Well, there you go. You should definitely make that your thing with your project. And if it all feels like a bit much, the other sides, then maybe you can get resources from elsewhere to do the other bits for you. But obviously nothing wrong with doing everything 100% yourself. That is, someone like the Stardew Valley guy did that, didn't he? He made a game entirely on his own. It all depends on your time and how much you can do with a project. It's totally up to you. You can do it. Oh heck, Hank, without design on paper, it will cause you to run in all directions at once. So just getting that done first, and then the world limitations and character info. Grim knows his stuff when it comes to code. He's been doing it longer than I was being born. So he's also the guy to ask as well. I mean, I'm still very new to this whole thing myself. I'm learning as I go, and I'm no pro. So don't always count on my answers alone. I will always just tell you how I feel, but it's always interesting to hear what other peeps here have to say too. And I'm sorry for having sad Hank on the screen for so long. We don't want to make everyone sad here, so let's turn them off. We'll have to add that onto the sprite sheet as well at some point. Okay, so we'll merge that now, and then we'll do the, yeah, that's correct. The facing left one goes first. I don't think we need to do Hank's backside right now, so we can leave that. One thing I do want to do though is Hank with Oliver in his arms. That would be a very sweet moment. That's the aim, to make everybody go, oh, that's the goal. So are we even going to pull this off? He's blocking his face. I want them both showing, ideally. This is actually going to be a challenging one. He's hiding his face. I mean, ideally it would be something like that. Something where you could still see his face, but he's kind of cropped. I wonder if there's a way to kind of go over the, like have a sprite that's bigger. Have to look into that one. You're doing great, Rose. You have such a positive outlook on progression. Thank you, Graham. I appreciate that. Maybe Hank can have a cracked board on the back side. Yeah, who knows? Maybe that's what he looks like from the back. Nobody knows at this point. It's a big mystery what Hank looks like from the back. Originally, Hank was gonna look like he was going to have his whole and sad face from the start originally, but we kind of thought actually making this happen on the cart hijacking, making him be normal before and not have the hole, but then get the hole during the hijacking makes it even more tragic, because we've actually experienced that happen, so it has more impact rather than it just being part of his backstory for some reason or another. And the fact that Carol's going to be the one that causes the injury, because she's the one that rolled into him, makes it even more, like, Carol. It just gives Carol a little bit more depth and a bit more drama as well for later on. Because she actually doesn't know she did it as well. She doesn't know that she's made a hole in Hank, because she rolls out the car and gets separated from them. So she don't even know. She's going to be in for a shock. Without the worried face. Yeah, he's just got a little smile. But them worried eyebrows are still there. Because he's a sweet old man. He don't have a cocky bone in his body. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that for now. I know that there's a problem because it's coming on the outside, but I'm going to look into see if it's possible in RPG Maker to have sprites appear outside of that cropped area. I'm going to look into it. We'll see, because I don't see any other way Hank can hold Oliver. The only other way is this, but his face is covered up, which isn't the end of the world, you know. It could work. I just think it looks extra cute if you can see Hank's face, but he's probably not going to be smiling though, and Oliver's not going to be smiling either. They're actually going to look depressed because they're panicking. The hijacking is happening, and Hank's protecting Oliver. He grabs him to stop Carol rolling into him. So let's make him have a sad face. I don't think we need the ooh middle bit there though. Let's turn it into a normal sad face. Do we need a shadow though? It might look a bit weird actually. We don't need it for that particular one. Or should we? We'll see what looks best. Yeah, it's fine like that. I think I added the shadow there for that because it looked a bit strange without it. But they might not have a sad, he might actually not have a sad face at this point. He might actually have a shocked face. This is weird. We need to have a dark mouth. No, yeah, it needs to be bigger. Does it look a bit square though? I'll get this sorted eventually. We'll get the right expression. Poor little boy. Heading out great, hanging out as always. Take care, Naz. Have an awesome day. Have a rest of your week. Yeah, no, I'll be back on Monday, everybody. So, don't forget, no stream tomorrow. Working on website. Jesus Christ. They look terrified. I can't do it. Hank's moustache is suddenly gone because his mouth's in the way. I have to put that back. I feel like you look weird if it's like that though. But if you've got a shocked face, your moustache should be a bit hidden anyway. Needs a bit of work, but we made a start. Your lip kind of rolls over the moustache all good. Yeah, your lip, if you had your mouth wide open and you had a moustache, the moustache would be like sort of covered up, I guess. It wouldn't be as thick as it looks in for him normally. So yeah, probably something like that. a little line of moustache. Barrels have lips. Well, I guess these barrels do. Pardon me. This is watermelon, by the way. How you doing, Chub? So, this needs a bit of work. But I kind of wanted to make a start on Hank and that particular asset, so it's gonna probably be something we're gonna go for during the whole animation of Carol rolling. So if we look back at our thing here, this is a sequence of events for the hijacking after we've had some sounds and some special effects and that. Carol falls and starts running towards Oliver. Hank jumps in front of Oliver. Well, I don't think we're going to have it so Hank jumps in front of him. He will act, yeah, well, he kind of is, if you know what I mean. If we look at this, he's more jumping behind him, and he grabs him and like he's going to push him to the side, I guess. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to carry on with this cutscene stuff next week, for sure. More barrels, need more barrels. Fantasia, thank you for the 28 months. Thank you so much. Can we have some hype in chat for Fantasia? That is a freaking long time. Thank you so much for that support for so long. Trying to get the hype in. Of course they have lips, yes. My face fits perfectly in between his ears, doesn't it? I mean, we could make Hank's mouth a bit bigger, a bit more shocked. I think it could do with being a bit darker, actually, that mouth hole. Just because it's such a dark barrel. I think if it was pitch black, though, it would look a bit too dark, maybe. Oliver has a really big mouth for a little one. But it'd look weird if it was any smaller, in all honesty, because it'd only be 1 pixel on either end. We'll just look, because I'm curious. It doesn't look too bad being that size. It's kind of cute like that, but let's just see. Now, that's a diamond mouth. Are we not having a diamond shaped mouth? Of that. There we go. I mean, the only other thing we could do is that, but the problem is it's off. It's not in the centre. And obviously, because it's pixel art, if we moved it across one, it'd be off centre again, I believe. So we kind of have to have that mouth if we want it to be in the middle. But it looks fine. It's getting there. Just glad the Moggy's gone well. Your wish came true, Chub. Mog's gone forever. He's never coming back. Never ever coming back ever again. Bet you're glad about that. Okay, folks, so we get in there. We've officially done all, right, we're 99% done with the conversation on the wagon. It's all about the hijacking bit next. So, I'm going to update this again, save it. So, I'll be back next on Monday. As you can see in the title, if you've looked, the next stream is stream 100, and we've planned for it to be a special stream. We've always wanted stream 100 to be a special stream, so I decided it's going to be the launch of the website. And normally I stream tomorrow, but the website's not done yet, so it's going to be held off until tomorrow now. And I'll be working on it tomorrow instead of streaming. And I'll keep you guys updated, probably put a reminder up in the Discord. I'm excited. And we'll carry on with this cutscene stuff not tomorrow, Monday. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm really cold. I don't know why it's so cold. Thank you for the tip, thank you. Okay, take care, guys. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your week. See you on Monday. Bye bye.